Nobot, the Robot with No Bottom by Sue Hendra and Paul Lynette. Bernard, the robot, loved to play at the park. Whee! He swung high, 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 up into the sky. Soon it was time to go. Bernard jumped off the swing and headed home. He'd only walked a little way when, "My bottom!" cried Bernard. "It's disappeared. Where can it be?" Bernard went back to the park to look, but he couldn't see his bottom anywhere. "Excuse me, Monkey," he said. "Have you seen my bottom?" Said Monkey. "I think I might have. Bird is using it. Come and see." "Hello, Bird," said Monkey. "Have you still got Bernard's bottom?" "Oops, Bernard, was that your bottom?" said Bird. "It was too heavy to be a nest, so I gave it to Bear to use in his drum kit. Let's go and get it back." "Excuse me, Bear, have you been drumming on my bottom?" asked Bernard. "Oops, Bernard, was that your bottom?" said Bear. "It made a funny noise, so I couldn't use it. I don't know where it is now." "Oh," said Bernard. "Don't worry, your bottom's got to be somewhere," his friend said kindly. "Look, there it is," said Monkey. "That's just Gary's hat," said Bernard. "There?" said Bird. "That's just Edward's shopping basket," said Bernard. "Isn't that it?" said Bear. "No, that's just Dog's window box." Bernard was sad. "I'll never get my bottom back," he said. "Come and sit down," said his friends, "and we'll have a think where to look next." "I can't sit down," said Bernard. "I haven't got a bottom. I'm not a robot. I'm a no-bot." And he walked away to carry on looking. After a while he arrived at the beach. He looked out to sea and saw something very familiar. There it was. "Come back," he shouted. "Come back here. You've got my bottom." But the rabbits couldn't hear him. Bernard jumped and waved, but it was no good. Then, as he turned away, he spotted a strange-shaped sandcastle. He had found his bottom. Bernard was so happy to have his bottom back that he did a wiggling, jiggling dance, and so did all of his friends. And Bernard never lost his bottom again. Hi, today we are going to look at conjunctions. Now that's a tricky word, shall we say it? Conjunctions. Yeah. Now a conjunction has a really special job, and all it does is joins two ideas together. So we're going to try three today. We're going to try and, but, and because. There are lots of others, but we're just going to use those three today to join two ideas together. So the story that I read this week was Nobot, the robot with no bottom. And so I thought maybe we would write some sentences about the story or about the robot or his friends, and we will practice using our conjunctions to join our ideas together. If you haven't listened to it, go and have a listen. It's only a short one and it's a bit silly, but sometimes a bit silly is good. So there were three words, and to start with, we need to have a look at how to spell them. So and is the first word, and it's exactly as it sounds. And. But was the next word. And this one again is exactly as it sounds. But. And do you know what? If you get confused between the B and the D in lowercase, then I learned a really sneaky trick that might be really, really useful. So as long as you know that a capital B looks like this, then all you have to do is imagine your capital B and get rid of the top bit here, and then you've got a B. That's the way round that the B is. There you go. What a great sneaky little trick. I love a sneaky little trick to help me remember things. So and but, and then because was our last one. So this is a much, much bigger word. It's a much trickier one. So I always remember this with big elephants can always upset small elephants. So each word, the first sound in the word is the first letter of what we're writing. So big elephants can always upset small elephants. And then we'll spell the word because it's a really tricky word. So each of these different conjunctions is used for a different purpose. So and is used to join this and this together. So my ideas can be similar. So I like going to the park and I like playing on the swings. I like going to the park, I like playing on the swings, and can join them together. But joins ideas together that are different, or in this case, my example case, opposite. So I like going to the park, but I don't like playing on the swings. So I like this, but I don't like this, but joins them together. And then the word because is used to give a reason. So I like going to the park because it's lots of fun. I like going to the park because I get to play with new friends. It could be any number of reasons, but because gives a reason, but is this, but this, opposites, and is two similar ideas joined together. So that's another conjunction as well, but we won't worry about that one for today. Let's have a go at using the word and to join two ideas together about Nobot. So I am going to start with Nobot went searching for his bottom. That's my first idea. So I'm going to write that one down first. So Nobot, now that's his name. So it's going to need capital letter for no and for bot. So Nobot went looking for his bottom. Remember, we need a finger space in between each of our words. We need to make sure that our letters are similar size to make it easier to read, and that the letters within words are bunched together. So Nobot went looking for his bottom. That's my one idea. And then I'm going to use the word and I'm going to join another idea onto the end. So what else could I add to the end of my sentence? Nobot went looking for his bottom and his friends went with him. Brilliant. So I've done my and already. So, and his friends, or friends is a tricky word. I always remember it as fry, like Friday, and then ends on the end. His friends went with him. It's a statement, so it needs a full stop at the end. Brilliant. Let's have a look. Nobot went looking for his bottom and his friends went with him. I could write an example of and using two more. See if you can write your own, and I will write another one. I'm going to do mine about Nobot again, but I'm going to write both of my ideas in two different colours so you'll see it really clearly, and then the and is just the word that's in the middle that joins the two ideas together. So I'm going to start with Nobot again. My first idea is only little. So my first idea is Nobot was sad, and then I'm going to use the word and because I'm joining another idea onto the end. A silly sentence, but it is still a statement. So how did you get on? Nobot was sad and missed his bottom. And I underlined this because this was a verb that ended in ed because it happened in the past. He missed it. So Nobot was sad and he missed his bottom. That's what happened in the story, wasn't it? So two separate ideas. Nobot was sad, he missed his bottom, joined together with the word and. And what you'll notice is that I didn't need to use the word he. So I had Nobot was sad and missed his bottom. I didn't need and he missed his bottom. I could have done, and that would have been fine, but I don't always need it. Let's try using the word but. So we're going to do this, but this. So this time we're thinking about opposites. So I'm going to start with, do you know what? I'm going to start with that same idea. Nobot was sad. So Nobot was sad, but he liked his friends helping him. So he was sad. He liked his friends helping him. They wouldn't join together with an and because they're not similar. They're opposite, so they join together with the word but. Nobot was sad, but he liked his friends helping him. And there is a full stop there. It's just that it's in red and difficult to see. What else could you add on to the end of that then? Nobot was sad, but his friends made him laugh. Yeah, okay. What about then if we change it to the start of the sentence is Nobot looked for his bottom. So Nobot looked for his bottom is the start of our sentence. And then we are going to use the word but for something opposite. So he was looking for it, but what? Yeah, I can think of a couple. So Nobot looked for his bottom, but he couldn't find it. Or Nobot looked for his bottom, but it was nowhere. Or no bot looked for his bottom, but here we go, look, I like this as an idea. So no bot looked for his bottom, but kept finding similar things. I might even use the word instead on the end of that just to clarify that he wasn't his bottom that he found. So but is used for this, but this, so they're different, often opposite, okay? And then that last one, that last word was the word because. Big elephants can always upset small elephants. And so this time we are giving a reason. So again, we could start with no bot was sad because he lost his bottom. Or we could use, what if the start of my sentence was this? Elephant smiled because, why would elephant smile? Yeah, good ideas. Remember those finger spaces. Remember those letters being the same size. Here's my idea. Elephant smiled because no bot found his bottom. But I could also, I'm going to change the end of my sentence, but I'm going to leave all of the beginning bit the same. So elephant smiled because yeah, they're really good ideas. Well done. Here's my next one, look. Elephant smiled because he enjoyed being with friends. That's why he smiled. He smiled because he enjoyed being with his friends. I think that's a really good reason to enjoy being with friends. I would like you to have a little practice of writing an and sentence, and I am going to write an and sentence, and then we'll make sure that it's right, okay? Brilliant. Okay, are you ready? Monkey was helpful and elephant was not, question mark. Oh, hang on. First of all, question mark? No, full stop. It's a statement. Do you know what I think I did? Monkey was helpful, elephant was not. I don't think and is the best conjunction that I could use there. Let's get rid of the word and. Which conjunction would be better there? They are not similar ideas. You're right. But would be a much better conjunction in there. Monkey was helpful, but elephant was not. Not actually true about the story at all. Yeah, sometimes we have to remember if they're similar, then it's and if they're different, if they're opposite, then it's normally but would be the better conjunction in there. Okay, let's write one together. You ready? The start of the sentence is Monkey thought he found Nobot's bottom. Monkey, remember it needs capital letter because it's at the beginning. Thought he found Nobot's. Remember that Nobot needs capital letters. This is his name. Okay, so Monkey thought he found Nobot's bottom. That's the first part of our sentence. And now you can either and, but, or because, and add a bit onto the end. So which one are you going for? Yeah. Monkey thought he found Nobot's bottom, but it was a boat. Yeah? Yes, brilliant. Ooh. Monkey thought he found Nobot's bottom, and it made him happy. That's a really good one. Monkey thought he found Nobot's bottom because it was a similar shape. They're great. I love your sentences. Remember them. And joins those two similar ideas together, but is generally used for opposite ideas, and because explains why. You've done a super job of using conjunctions today. That's just a beginning. There are more, but see if you can use those conjunctions in your writing. Whatever you do with the rest of your day, have a great one. Bye-bye. Hi. So today we are going to have a look at 2D shapes and symmetry. So when we talk about 2D shape, what we mean is flat shapes. So like a picture of a shape, or the face of a 3D shape would be a 2D shape, so it would be something that is flat. So technically the examples that I'm going to show you are not, but we can use our imagination in that they are flat. So I have a couple here for you. So I have a circle, well done. I have a square. I have a triangle. I have a rectangle. And I just have one more. It's just, what's this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well done, that one is a hexagon. So what I thought we would have a go at doing is doing a bit of drawing, a bit of investigating, and we'll talk about those 2D shapes as we go, and then we'll have a look at symmetry within them, and then if there's time at the end, we will use those 2D shapes to draw some pictures, just for a bit of fun. So you will want something to write with and something to write on today, so if you don't have that, then go grab that, and then come back and join us. And I thought that what we would do is we would start with one side, and then we'll work our way through, and we will see if there are shapes for all of the different numbers as we go through. And in actual fact, maybe there might be more than one shape for some of the number of sides. Do you have everything you need? Cool, let's start. So let's see if we can draw a shape that only has one side. Now, that side is obviously going to reconnect to itself, because it has to connect to somewhere. Could you draw me a shape that only has one side? In actual fact, can you draw me more than one? And then I also have a question. Yeah, you drew a circle too, well done. Did anybody draw an oval? An oval, or we could have drawn it the other way up and it would have looked like an egg, but it would still be the same shape. An oval is like a circle that has been squished. So for one-sided, we have the circle, and we could draw an oval. Why is this not a 2D shape with one side? Brilliant, because it doesn't meet up. Okay, in order for it to be a 2D shape, it has to be enclosed. This is a line, okay? So that one's not a straight line, that's a curvy line. I could have drawn a straight line and it would still be a line, but in order for it to be a shape, it has to be enclosed. They have to meet up. Oh, okay, this one's trickier then. Can you draw a shape that has two sides? Remember that the entire thing will be enclosed, but can you draw one that has two sides? I've got one. Great, what wonderful ideas. Here is my two-sided shape, look. It has a straight side and it has a curved one. It's a semicircle. Can you say that? Semicircle. Great job. Oh, okay. What about then 3 sides? So this one's going to have 3. One of the shapes that we looked at earlier had 3, so you could use that to help you. Maybe there's more than one? What do you think? See what you can come up with, but they have to have 3 sides. So they don't necessarily have to be standard shapes. We can have irregular shapes, but all of those sides have to join together in order for it to be a shape. And if you could draw the standard ones as well, then that would be incredible. Right, I think I have mine. Okay. Triangles! Triangles have 3 sides to them, but I have 3 triangles that look very different. Now, we don't need to go into detail about this, but I technically have an equilateral triangle here because all of the corners are equal, and this one here is called a right angle triangle because in the corner it has like a square angle. So there are lots of different types of triangles, but yeah, if it has 3 sides, probably a triangle. Well done, good investigating. Okay, the next one then is 4, and I know there to be at least 2 different, in fact there are more than that, I think I can think of 4 already, shapes that have 4 sides. So see what you can draw, have an explore. Obviously if you want straight lines, then in an ideal world you would use a ruler to do that. But if you don't have a straight line, then for now it's not the end of the world. We're just trying to get a feel for what these different shapes are, what they look like. How many of you managed to get so far? It's not so easy, huh? Right, I definitely have 4. I wonder if I can create an odd shape that I like. Oh no, not with... It's difficult to do one with 4 sides, isn't it? Oh, I think I might have got one. I was just trying to get an unusual shape. So down here, look, we'll look at the other ones in a minute. But down here, look, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It does have 4. Technically, that is called a quadrilateral. Big word, can you say it? A quadrilateral, because it has 4 sides. It's not a regular shape, it's an irregular shape. It's much easier to do when you've got more sides, funnily enough. I was just playing around having a bit of fun, but I have got 4 shapes though that we can talk about. Look, I've got a square, I've got a rectangle. So the square has 4 equal sides, they're all the same. And then the rectangle doesn't, it has longer sides, sometimes known as an oblong. Both are actually fine, but rectangle is the more commonly accepted one. And then I have a kite. Some people would refer to it as a diamond, just because it's how it's referred to in nursery rhymes. And then this one here is a parallelogram. Can you say that? Parallelogram. That's a really tricky word. And basically a parallelogram is really special because it has 2 sets of parallel lines. And what that means is that this line here and this line here that go up, they run parallel, so they would never hit each other. And the same with these ones here. They would never intersect. So they're off at a bit of an angle, but they would just continue going like that and they would never join. So that is my parallelogram. Whew. Okay, what's a 5-sided shape called? A pentagon. Okay, and we did the hexagon earlier, which had 6 sides. So can we draw a pentagon, a hexagon, and a heptagon? So a pentagon has 5. I'm going to draw a regular pentagon, and that is one that looks like a house. So a pentagon has 5, and then a hexagon, like the one we saw earlier, and then a heptagon has 7. Have a play around with that. That feels harder to draw. How are you getting on with that? A heptagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I just about have it because my pen is smudgy, it's difficult. So pentagon, like a house shape, but 5 sides is what's important. It could look different. It would still be a pentagon if it has 5 sides. Hexagon has 6 sides, and then the heptagon had 7. Because my pen is quite fat, it's not the easiest. The corners sort of squished together a little bit. It's not the easiest one to show. Okay, some really good knowledge there of 2D shapes. We could go bigger. So 8 sides would be an octagon. 9 sides, my favourite one. 9 sides would be a nonagon. Can you say that? A nonagon. And 10 sides would be a decagon. We don't need to go any higher. But the other thing that we do want to have a little look at is the idea of symmetry. Now, either you can, if you draw them on paper, then you can cut them out, which is what I'm going to do to show it. But you can also just have a go at drawing it, and you can kind of get a visual check for it. So I'm going to start with a square. So either draw round or draw a square and cut it out, or draw it on your board or your paper or wherever it is that you're drawing, and then we will have a look at symmetry. So the idea of something being symmetrical is that I can fold it and it will create 2 equal, identical halves. So with my square, if I fold it down the middle, look, my 2 sides match. This down the middle here, I'll just go over it. it won't show up particularly well because it's white paper. This right here is a line of symmetry in my square. So I can go straight down the middle and I will have two sides that are the same. But in actual fact, my square has more than one line of symmetry because I can go this way, but I could also go this way. Yeah, absolutely. Just try it. That's it, look. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So I could go that way. And with the square, I can also go from corner to corner. Let me just draw it and then I'll show you what I mean. Here we go, look. So with the square, we can actually go from corner to corner. So I could fold these 2 points together and I could go across. And with a square, I would actually have 2 triangles. So my square has 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of symmetry. But remember, in order for it to be symmetrical, both sides have to be identical. So let's have a look at let's do a rectangle next. So either you can draw it or you can cut it out. It's completely up to you. But let's do a rectangle next. So you'll need 4 sides and 2 need to be longer than the others. So 2 short ones, 2 long ones. Okay. How many lines of symmetry do you predict that this will have? Okay, you think it might have the same as the square because it's similar to the square? Okay, well, let's start then. So let's go straight down the middle first. We'll just check. Yep, that one definitely works. You can have straight down the middle. And then we did top to bottom, didn't we? So fold it top to bottom and see whether that works. Yep, absolutely. Same. So far you've got 2 lines of symmetry. Just going to draw them onto mine. Do you think that the other 2 lines of symmetry that we had with the square will work with the rectangle? Let's try it. Let's go corner to corner. Oh. They didn't work, did they? So the rectangle had 1, 2, that way or that way. But we couldn't go from corner to corner with the rectangle. So the rectangle had less. Okay, let's try, we're going to do 2 more. So let's try a triangle. So can you draw a triangle? Now my triangle that I am using is an equilateral triangle. So all of the corners and sides are in fact the same. So if you could draw one that was like that, then that would be really handy. How many lines of symmetry do you think that it will have? Just the 1? Okay, I think if we go straight down the middle, then we'll be able to fold it. Yeah, here we go, look. We can fold it straight down the middle and we end up with 2 identical triangles. So we can have a line of symmetry down there. If we fold it like this, will they be identical? Nope. If we fold it like this, will they be identical? No. So yeah, our triangle only has 1, and in actual fact, some triangles don't have any, but an equilateral triangle is a good one to show an example of 1. Okay, and then the last one that I want us to look at is a circle. So can you draw and cut out a circle, and we'll have a look at the lines of symmetry within that. Ready? Right, here's my circle. I will draw a circle also. Could we go from top to bottom? Would they be identical? Yeah. Could we go from left to right? Yes, they would be identical. Could we go like this? Yes, they would be identical. Could we go across this way? Yes, they would be identical. And I'm hoping that what you can see is that in actual fact, we could go around that circle in lots and lots of different ways. So the circle out of all of the shapes that we did is the one that has the most lines of symmetry, and it's because of its one continuous curved edge. It doesn't have corners and extra bits to get in our way. It looks the same always round. How interesting. Maybe you'll find some more 2D shapes. See if you can name them, and then maybe you might find the lines of symmetry within them. Whatever you do with the rest of your day, have a great one. Bye-bye. Hi, so today we are going to have a look at materials. We're going to have a look at a whole range of materials. So we're looking at the thing that things are made from, and we are looking at the properties of those and what we can therefore do with those materials and why they are useful in everyday life. Because some things it's quite easy how we will be able to use them and manipulate them, and for others it's not quite so clear to see. There's a bit more of a process involved in it. You don't necessarily need anything today in order to join in. If you wanted to create a table of results, of observations, of ideas, then you would need something to write with and something to write on. And if you want to go and explore and go and find some of these materials for yourself, then you can just pause the video as we go along and I will ask a question, and if you pause, then that will give you time to have a play, have an investigate. If you can find those things, always make sure that you are safe to do that and that you have the permission of a grown-up, okay? Don't just go and find things and start exploring if you're not supposed to. So let's start with something really quite simple. Let's start with the idea of paper. So if you were going to write a table of results, you may well do it on a piece of paper. You might not, but you might well do it on a piece of paper. Can you think of anything that the paper would be useful for? Absolutely. It could be used for books. It could be used for fun, for aeroplanes or for water bombs, or there are lots of things that we can use a piece of paper for. Yeah, origami is great fun. Okay, what would I need to do to my paper in order to make a book or a card? Right, I would need to be able to fold it. So can you fold your piece of paper if you have one? It doesn't necessarily need to be in half, that's just the adult mix. And then we can pinch. And if I pinch all the way down, look, I can fold it, and then my paper will take a new form. So my paper was really flexible because it folded really easily, but it's also quite strong in that it can hold a new form really, really easily. If I fold it again, do you think the same thing will happen? Let's fold it this way and see. I'll pinch and pull. And if I pull down that side where I folded, then yeah, absolutely. Is my piece of paper ruined though? No, I can open up my piece of paper and I will have similar to what I already started with. It has fold lines down it, but it's still the same piece of paper that I started with. That would absolutely be useful if I wanted to make something like a book. That would be important, wouldn't it? And the folding would be super important if I wanted to do something like origami, if I wanted to make a little crane or a paper aeroplane, then folding would be really, really useful. In which case, my wrong folds might cause a bit of a problem because it can be tricky to get it back once we've folded. If we want to throw it and want it to fly, then its integrity is quite important. So that might cause an issue for us. My paper can also be scrunched. I'm not gonna be able to use this for too much now, but I can scrunch it, and because it's paper, it will hold its shape. Do you think I'd be able to do that with card? No, Well done. Why not though? Yeah, card is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit stronger. So I can fold card, but I can't scrunch it in the same way. I wouldn't be able to make it so small. So if I was doing some artwork maybe, now there are types of paper that are even finer than this. This is quite a thick piece of paper really, it's for drawing. But there are finer papers like tissue paper and crepe paper that can be used for artwork, and we may well want to scrunch that because we might want to make little balls of colour that we can then put onto our picture. So being able to scrunch for that sort of thing is super important, and it's absolutely something that we can do with paper, but it's much harder with other materials. So I talked about card. Now I have a piece of card here. It's a bit thicker. It would be a bit stronger. It could be even thicker. I have cardboard boxes that are significantly thicker than this. And obviously if you're making cardboard box and you need it to be strong, you want the cardboard to be much thicker. And normally the card in a box is corrugated. So it has a layer inside it of like little parcels of air, and that helps to make it strong as well. Can you think of a way then? So we've talked about folding. Can you think of another way that we could do something with our card? How else could we manipulate? How else could we use our card? Absolutely, you are spot on. If we were to use a pair of scissors, then we could cut things out of our card. If I wanted to make a crown to go around my head, then I would need some scissors to cut the spikes at the top of my crown. I could use scissors, and that would be really a good way of manipulating my piece of card. Can we use scissors on all materials? No, well done. Some materials are too tough. Now, some materials, it depends on what sort of scissors we want to use. So I have here a piece of fabric. Now, my piece of fabric folds just like my piece of fabric smells nice because it's just clean. It folds just like the paper and just like the cardboard did. I believe I could scrunch it, look. I don't think it would hold its shape as well. No, it's starting to come out of itself. But I can scrunch it, and I will show you a reason why that is really useful in a minute. Do you think that I would be able to cut my piece of fabric? Not as easily, you're absolutely right. I could cut my fabric because clothes are made from fabric. We must be able to cut it. Otherwise, they'd all just be one big sheet of fabric, wouldn't they? So yes, we can cut it, but it's not as easy to do, especially if you've got child safe scissors or blunt scissors or old scissors. We use some really sharp scissors when we're cutting to make like bunting and things like that we might choose to make here. So we can, and what we try and do is make sure that we hold it really taut, really tight, and then that allows for the scissors to go through it much better because all of the fibres in it are being held nice and tight because it's quite loose, it's quite free. Whereas in the paper and the cardboard, it holds its shape quite well. This is quite flimsy, would be a good word. So if we want to cut it, we need to make sure that we hold all of those fibres nice and tight, and then we would be able to. Now, I promised you that I would show you why it's important or why it can be useful that the fabric can be scrunched right down. So here, look, is, well, you tell me, what do you think it is? It's a bag. So if I undo the drawstring, now this has a drawstring, it has a piece of string that comes around here and it tightens up. And the reason that it has that is because when I scrunched my fabric, it didn't keep its shape very well. So this has a drawstring because inside it, there's a whole little bag. So when I go to the shop, I try really hard not to use plastic bags as much as I can, because I know that those plastic bags that I use have an impact on the environment. I know that lots of microplastics end up in the ocean, and I'm not mad keen on that as an idea. Now, I know that I by myself can't change the whole world, but I can do my little bit. So if I tighten it and I pull the little toggle, then my bag now is tiny, and my bag will fit in the bottom of my bag or in my pocket, or I actually can hold it by its loop and I can take it to the shop with me. So my fabric being able to scrunch really small is really useful for things like my reusable shopping bag. Do you think we can cut all fabrics? Let me reword that. Do you think we can cut all materials? Because technically there probably is a way to cut all fabrics. What about all materials though? What materials do you think we might not be able to cut through? Yeah, interesting. Okay, so glass, metal, plastic. Oh, you're not so sure about that one. Okay. Wood. You're right. Wood can be cut through, as can plastic, and technically metal. They just require a different tool. So where I can go to the drawer and get a pair of scissors and I can cut through my paper or my card, I can get my special scissors for cutting fabric. Cutting through wood or plastic or metal is much, much harder, and I would need a tool to help me do that. Now, if I look on the end of my piece of wood, you can see there are some sticky out bits. That's because I used a saw to cut my wood into chunks. It depends on the size of the wood as to the size of the saw, obviously. Now, we could also use a saw to cut through plastic or to cut through metal. It would need, the teeth on it would need to be at a different width in order to cut through the different things. That's the difference. Different saws are better for different things. So if I was trying to cut through the metal, then I would want one with really close together teeth, because we would want it to be really fine, because it's actually really tricky to cut through that. Whereas wood, we want open, we want wider teeth, because it's more of a sawing action. It's more like we chop through it rather than very slowly go through it. We can use all of these materials to make different things. So the wood can be cut, it can be molded, it can be painted. We can make all sorts from wood by cutting, by sawing, by sanding, by planing, by filing. This has been sanded definitely because it's very smooth, and then it's probably been varnished and it's been painted as well. And so we can make lots of things out of wood using some really, really simple techniques. Do you think that we can do the same thing with glass? You're absolutely right. This here is glass. You can see it has indents in it here. It's got quite a thick bottom as well. Glass can be molded. Here's another bit of glass, look. So here is a jar. Here is a jar, look. Really interesting shape. Glass can be molded because glass is really useful for holding liquids and things like that. But my glass would be useful as well. But in order to do that, they have to get it to be really, really hot. When it's really, really hot, it is malleable, which means that we can mold it, but it has to be much hotter than you or I could ever get it. And that's obviously not a safe thing to do. So it's not something that we should try to do, but it can be done by professional people. That is exactly how they do it. And it's the same sort of thing with metal. So I have a spoon and I had my my pet bowl earlier. Both of these are made of metal. You'll see that on the edge of this bowl, it has fish. Now, they've been indented into it. So a mold will be put inside here, where my hand is, and it will have little fish outlines. And then what happens is they will press it almost with a hammer, in the most basic terms, with a hammer, and that will create the indent of the fish around the outside of the bowl. Now, sometimes, again, they will heat these things up. Obviously, like if I try and bend my spoon, it's not going anywhere. So either we need a lot of pressure or we need some help. And generally when it comes to things that we can't manipulate in the same way as we could some of our earlier things, then man's best friend is heat. But obviously heat's dangerous, so it's not something that we should try to do at home. Hopefully I've made you think today. Hopefully I've made you consider the different materials that might be around your home and consider how you might be able to use them to do various different things. Maybe go and have a play around. Go and see which materials are really strong. Go and see if there are any materials that you can make things from. Have an investigate and a little play around. Some you'll be able to manipulate. Some will be really useful. Like my tub. My plastic tub is super useful because it's strong, it's see-through, so I can see what's in it, and it's waterproof. Perfect. So some will be useful that you might find, and some things might be really good fun. Whatever you do with the rest of your day, have a great one. Bye-bye.
Hello, Angel students. Welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we are going to take part in a meditation for the imagination. So what I would love for you to do is to get comfortable. Before we begin any meditation, we want to be comfortable. We need a comfortable and quiet space where there will be no one to disturb you. You can do this by laying down on your back, or perhaps you would rather sit up with your knees bent underneath you or your legs crossed. You can also sit in a chair with your back supported and your feet firmly on the ground. So get comfortable in your own space in whatever way you are completely comfortable, so we can get relaxed and get into this imagination meditation. As always, before we begin the meditation, it is completely up to you whether you completely and fully close your eyes, or if you decide to have a gaze and look at something perhaps without completely closing your eyes, but looking down. And once you are comfortable and in position, we will begin with some breathing exercises just to completely relax us and get us into a beautiful state for the imagination to just flow. There will be a slight difference with this breathing technique that we haven't done as yet, but it's a very, very small difference. All I will require you to do is when you take a deep inhale in, stomach out, chest up, is to just hold the breath at the top there. And then once you release, chest down and stomach goes back in. So we will begin in a moment. For the meantime, breathe at your own pace. Okay, in a moment I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in, and once you get to the top I'm going to ask you to hold. You will hold and I will let you know when to release. Okay, so deep breath in and hold and release. Let's do that again. Deep breath in and hold and release. Deep breath in and hold and release. Deep breath in and hold and release. Last one, deep breath in and hold and release. You may return back to your normal breathing pattern, but where you find it comfortable, try to take deeper breaths. I would like you to have a think about what it is you would like to do, who it is you would like to be. If you could do and be absolutely anyone, do anything at this precise moment, what would that be? Who would that be? What would it look like exactly? What can you hear or see around you? Are there other people there perhaps? What's the weather like? How do you feel? What does it feel like? Do you feel excited? Do you feel happy? Do you feel joy? Does it feel natural for you? Does it feel like somewhere you really want to be and someone you'd really enjoy being? Take a moment to just enjoy. Look around, listen, and focus on the feeling of being exactly who that person is you want to be, doing all the things you would love to be doing. focus on the feelings. What is it that you are experiencing? How is it making you feel? Can you smell anything? Can you reach out and touch anything or anyone? And how does that make you feel in this wonderful world of imagination? There are no limits here. There are no correct ways to imagine. It's all completely up to you. It's all completely what you would love, what you would enjoy, and what you would desire. What would make your heart feel full? Now take a moment to really think about why it is that you feel so good where you are in your imagination right now. Is it because it's been a dream for as long as you can remember? Is it because of the possibility that it could be really real? Is it because now that you can see it, you can reach out and touch it, and you're aware of how it would feel to have it, that you know it will become your reality? Any ideas that you are given to you because you are unique and because only you will understand them. So wherever your imagination is taking you in this moment, relax into it completely. You are worthy of whatever you are imagining in this moment. You deserve whatever has come up for you that brings you that happiness within. and as we relax into that moment, into that feeling, into that knowing, into that gratitude, with your eyes still closed or gazing down, slowly come back into the present moment, into your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take a deep breath in and hold, and a deep breath out. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes.
For Angel School. Hi everybody, let's practice some basic exercise for the drawing first. Follow me. 1 foot wide. Here you are. Raise and ankles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And help your knee joints, help your knee circulation. 1. All the way down if you want to, if you can. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Foot point straight. Relax your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Elbow up, hands reach out far as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slightly bend your knees for the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, shoulders relax. Slightly bend your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoulders down, head up, neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax your back 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now let's practice 3 breathing exercises. Keep your foot point straight. Whole body relax. Take your hands. When you're breathing in, collecting all the good energy into your body. Breathing in much as you can. When you're breathing out, relax your shoulders, elbow, hands pushing down. 2 more times. Breathing in through your nose. And breathing out through your nose. Yeah. Now we're gonna practice the squats first. I'm gonna work on the stance and crunch. So we do 20 squats and 10 push-ups. So squat all the way down, stretch your back. Stand up, stretch front of your body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can go a little bit quicker if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And push-ups. Keep your hands on the floor. Body straight. 1, all the way down, and all the way up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'Very good. When you're a little bit comfortable, you can do on your face or your fingers. What I mean? 2 foot ones. Let's practice one basic punch. Clench your face. 1. Breathe in. 2. Always move from your waist. 3. Feel the movement. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Let it be power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. if you practice by yourself, you can do like a few sets here, like 3 sets, 5, 10, up to you. So now we're going to practice first Kung Fu stance. 3.5 with 1, 2, 3.5. Bend your knees, keep your elbow on your knee, push your knee up. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe in up. Take your body. 1. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe up. Take your body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Cùng với thấy one leg bends, one leg straight. 1, 2, use your breathing to stretch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change. 1, cùng với 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Relax. Let's do one more stretch for your hamstring. Join your feet, slightly bend your knees, 1 foot forward a little bit. Hands on your knee and grab your shoe. 1, use your breathing to stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change. Lean forward from your hands. 2, feel your hamstring stretch. When you feel the pain, focus on your breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Relax your back. Down head your keep your face and your waist. When you kick your right leg, use your right hand. Touch your right shoes. Yeah, 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you can do both sides. Now kick your left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So let's follow me and practice the form for a few times. So this time I'm going to start from here. So go here. See the movement from the front. Now I'm going to do the side way. So Breathing in, hands up. And breathing out. Clench your face. Slowly. Elbow strike. Look left. Then first Kung Fu stance. Marble. Fourth flag bend. Right hand block. Left hand punch. Gumbo. And right hand forward. Like snake. Then kick your right leg. Then elbow. Yeah. Or block. Then marble. Change combo. Yeah. Check in. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. Clench your face slowly. Elbow strike. Marble block. Gumbo punch. Kick your right leg. Right elbow. And right hand block. Then left hand punch. Okay, let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, hands up. And exhale. Clench your face. 1, 2, marble. 3, 4. Elbow. Punch. And exhale. One more time. Slightly a little bit power. Clench your face. Elbow. 1, 2, marble punch. 3, kick. 1. Okay, very good. Exactly same. I'm gonna try different direction. Earlier we were to the left, yeah. Now we're gonna go to the right. Same. Breathing in and breathing out. Earlier we stepped to the left. Now we step to the right. Still clench your face. Elbow strike. And this time you look to the right. Still marble. Earlier your right hand block. This time your left hand block. Then change gumbo. Then 1, kick your left leg. Yeah, left leg forward when you kick finish. Marble. So marble. Kick your left leg. Left elbow block. Then punch your right hand. And stop. And let's do 2 more times. Inhale. Clean your face. 1, 2, left hand block. Then 3. Up. Right hand punch. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, let's do 2 breathing exercises. Start with 2 foot wide. Whole body relax, foot down, hands up, shoulders. Arms straight, fingers straight. Breathing in through your nose. Bring the breath into repair your body. Breathing out. Shoulders, elbow, hand pushing down. 1 more.
Please like and subscribe so you can get more and more lessons.